Okay, the third topic in Chapter 15 is two-station sequencing. And the best way that I can describe this is, so the rule is to find the minimum time at either station. If the minimum time is on the first station, you're going to sequence that job to the left. If the minimum time is on the second station, you're going to sequence that job on the right. All right, so if you look here, you can see that the minimum time here is this 2. All right, E has a time of 2, that's the lowest time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sequence E to the left because it's on the first station. And so once we sequence it, then we're going to eliminate it from further consideration. And then we go and we find the next lowest. And so the next lowest looks like it's B. Now again, B is on the first station, so we're going to sequence it to the leftmost spot that we can, and then eliminate it from further consideration. And we just keep going along with this. All right, so then the next lowest one looks like it's F. Now, this one is on the second station. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it all the way to the right because it's on the second station. And then we'll eliminate it from further consideration. And then the next highest one looks like it's A. And again, it is on the second station, so we're going to put it to the rightmost available spot. And then we'll eliminate it from further consideration. And then it looks like, what, 6, which is C. It's also on. So we're going to do the C in the rightmost spot and then eliminate it. And then the next one's going to be, looks like D. It's on the second station. So we're going to put D next in the rightmost spot that's available and then eliminate it. And then, we just keep going on here. Then the next task is going to be, looks like it's going to be H. So we're going to put H here, and then the last task then by default is going to have to be G. All right? So this is our sequence of the sequence that is going to minimize the idle time at both stations. All right, so any questions on applying that algorithm to coming up with a sequence for 2 stations? Okay, so the next thing to do is to calculate the idle time. So the idle time, if we start here, let's say this is going to be 0, and then we're just going to increase time. Okay, so this is going to be time, and then this is going to be down here. This is going to be station number 1, and then station number 2 down here. So what we can do is we could do like a Gantt chart. Okay. So again, if we do E first, so let's just look here at our first station. Let's just look here at our first station times. So if we do E first, it's going to take us from time 0 to time 2. All right. So what I can do here is I can do an E. This is going to be E. And then this time up here is going to be at 2. And then the next one is B. Well, if I start B at time 2 and it's 3 units long, then I'm going to be done with B at time 5. All right? So then this next one here is going to be B. And then this is going to be time 5 here. Okay? Then I'm going to do G, and G takes 18 units of time, so it's going to take us out to time 23. And so we'll represent it like that. And so this is going to be G. And then we can start H at time 23, and it's 20 units long. So H is we're gonna go out to time 43, which with H. All right, so this is gonna be 43, and then this is gonna be H. And then we can do D, and D takes 8, so that's gonna take us to time 51. And then this is D. And then the next one's going to be C, so that's 9 long, so that's going to take us to time 60. I should have picked a shorter example here. Sorry about that, but hopefully, you know, this will make sense as we get along here. And then we're going to do A, so A can start at time 60, and it's going to take us to time 76. And then the last one is going to be F. F can start at 76, and it's going to take us to time 88. And then that's what the jobs on the first station are going to look like, okay? So any questions on kind of that Gantt chart of what things are going to look like on machine 1 with that given sequence? All right, so the next station, let's just look at the station 2 times, okay? So machine 2, we cannot start job E at time 0 because it won't be done until time 2. So we're going to start E at time 2, all right? And E takes 14 units of time on station 2, so we're going to be done with E at time 16. All right, so this is what this is going to look like. So it's going to start here at 2, and then it's going to be done at 16, okay? Now this time right here, this is what's called idle time. All right, basically machine 2 is sitting there waiting for E, and again, we'll assume there's nothing in it from a previous job. So it's just sitting there waiting, all right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to just do this Gantt chart on machine 2 in the same way, but we have to make sure that the item is done from the first machine before we can do it on the second machine. So B is next. Now B got done at time 5, so if we wanted to start B at time 16, that would be fine. It would be ready. So B takes 13, let's say minutes on station 2. So we're going to go out to time 29 with B. All right, so there's no idle time there. So B, and this will take us to time 29. All right. Then G can start at time 29, and G takes 14. So this G is going to take us then to 43. All right, so G is going to be able to get started when H gets done on the first machine. Okay, so this is G, and this is time 43. Okay. All right, so we can start H at 43. It's done at time 43 on number 1, so we can start H at 43 on number 2. So H is going to take us 11 minutes, so that's going to take us to 54 minutes. So that's going to be about right here, not exactly to scale, but this will be H, and then this is, again, 54. And then we can do D, and D is done at machine 1 at 51, so we can start it at 54 on machine 2. So D takes us 7, so D is going to take us to time 61. All right, so then this is D, and then this is time 61. All right. Now we can C will be done at time 60, so we can do it at time 61 on machine 2. So C is going to take us 6, and so we will be done with C at time 67. All right. Now we have a problem here. we see that A won't be done until time 76. So what we have here is this machine is going to sit until time 76, and then we can start A. So this is going to be idle time here. All right. So this is looks like 9 minutes of idle time. So then A can start at time 76. It's going to take us to time 81. Okay, so this is A. And again, this is time 81. And again, we can't start F until time 88. And so again, this is going to be idle time here. And so we can start F at time 88. And then F is going to take us forward, so we'll be done with F at time 92. All right, so this is F down here, okay? So the total idle time with this particular sequence is going to be the 2 at the beginning, plus the 9, plus the 7. So it's going to be equal to 18, let's say 18 minutes, okay? Okay, so any questions on, so there's really two things with two-station sequencing. It's number one, using the algorithm to come up with the optimal sequence. And the second part of it is, you know, putting that sequence on a Gantt chart and then tracking, you know, the idle time that you get with the sequence. And the idle time will primarily be on machine 2. So any questions on this example?